Composed of 5 members: Musani, Chi, Baorong, Daria, and Mola. And the topic of this project is related to discrimination in the school. And this group project is for the course of education leadership. So I'm going to talk briefly about the background of the case study, and then the rest of the team member are going to go through the rest of the analysis of this project. So the background of this project, the case is it happened in a middle school, and the middle school is actually composed of 45% of Hispanic, and it's a pretty good performance school. And the case is actually related to 3 key people. One is Kapoor. Mr. Kapoor is a very successful math teacher. He's India and 29 years old, married. And another person involved into this case is the 8th grade student, Andrea Hernandez. And the third one involved into this case, a major one, is his mother, Mrs. Hernandez. So what happened is in a day, Mr. Kapoor actually saw Andres sitting in the lobby, and he actually asked him his name and why he's not at school. And but Andres' reply to him is just saying he was waiting for his mother to pick up and then see the doctor. And Andres is actually have some disciplinary issue in the past. And Mr. Kapoor actually knew about it and witnessed some of them. So Mr. Kapoor did not believe in it. And then so what he actually said to Andrea is, in a very condescending manner, "You do not look like Hispanic to me, and you must be playing one of your laying tricks on me. Can I see your ID?" So this is actually the regarding discriminated words to Andre. And Andre actually told his mother, Mrs. Hernandez, about it. And Mrs. Hernandez is a single mom. And then he sent his son Andres to this top-rated school, but Andre actually manipulated a little bit about Mrs. Hernandez's positive feeling to him, and then he did not really share and communicated the true stories of what happened in the school in the past. So Mrs. Hernandez actually reported to the school, to principal, and requested for investigation. So the school disciplinary committee actually had an investigation, together with the superintendent and also the principal. And the committee actually came to the conclusion that the statement made by Mr. Kapoor was unnecessary and also avoidable. And they decided to suspend Mr. Kapoor from school for 2 days. So this is the basic background of this case. And then I'm going to talk about the problem of this case. So there are central problem and also secondary problem. So the central problem is even unintended discrimination words from a well-performed teacher can jeopardize a healthy learning community, both for students and teachers. And also Mr. Kapoor has the assumption that based on the student's name and skin, and discrimination is a serious issue that affects teacher and school community as well. And those are the central problem. And the secondary problem is the teacher needs to have a good and deep understanding of various aspects of discrimination, and also self-discipline themselves on a daily basis. And because the discrimination is not just the the wording, but also put in action. And the text stated that Andrew's mother works long hours and loves him very much, but she always believes his words about school situation. She's not fully aware of his disrespect for authority as it manifests at school. So these are the secondary problem. So now we move on to next slide about supporting information. Jean?
Thank you, Priscilla, for the wonderful overview of what the case is all about. To add to what you just said, the supporting information, Mr. Capo did not know the student well, and he only knew of Andre's, he only knew of Andre's consistent reputation of being disrespectful to authority. Also, Ms. Capo is still relatively new to the U.S. culture and may not be aware that his comment could be perceived as racial profiling, even if that was not his intention. I think the first bullet point shows a preconceived notion about a student, before knowing the student. Then the second bullet point, he also did not know how to communicate effectively due to cultural differences, which is, understandably. He could have informed the student's parents via email about the incident right away to avoid misconception of what transpired between him and the student. I think every teacher is expected to do this when anything happens in school, to email the parents involved. And thirdly, Andre's mom did not take the responsibility to get the other side of the story before requesting for a harsh disciplinary action against the teacher. It's very, very typical of any parent to be defensive, of their children when they are involved in situations at school. Then lastly, Andre had a couple of issues at school, just like you mentioned in the overview, about lying, and Mr. Capo had witnessed him lying to his teachers. Inevitably, Mr. Capo thought he was lying to him too, which showed that, he didn't mean to discriminate against him by using the wrong language. I think these are the supporting information I have to support what you just said about what the story is all about. Can we move to the next slide, please?
Okay, I'm gonna talk about possible solution. First possible solution is that fast documentation of the incidents to ensure accuracy allows the victimized party and community to know that the school has made these incidents a primacy and they are working for determination. Fast documentation keeps school community tension low and lets family and community know that school has their best interest in mind. And second one is victim or witnesses to speak up to the authority. School created an environment that allows students to come forward with problems or complaints. It is significant or important because children or students not in position of authority or specialists. The children need to understand they have value and they won't be penalized for speaking out against a teacher or issue. Third solution is that establishing an open dialogue policy with school leadership and the committee. By establishing an open dialogue policy with the school leadership and the school council, a pathway is created that allows both parties to bring attention to the issue of discrimination. The open dialogue allows the parties to define discrimination and also have procedures in place when discrimination happens and to have disciplinary measures in place when discrimination happens. And the last solution is that organize a meeting between complainant and respondent. The meeting should have warm atmosphere. It should be conducted by the principal or an objective party. The principal should clearly state the Objective of the meeting is to gather facts which will allow the committee to make a decision. I think goal setting and regular communication with teachers and his mother to enhance understanding as to what is really happening in Andrew's school day. If Mr. Kapoor would attend a course in effective communication with students, this would be helpful so that he can approach the students in a non-aggressive manner. Also, counseling may also help Andrew to realize that his lack of discipline may hinder his progress toward getting the good grades that will help him attain the scholarship that he hopes to get in future. Next slide, please.
Hello, and I will talk about evaluation solutions. So in this slide, there are different possible solutions with advantages and disadvantages from group members. And the first one is fast documentation of the incidents to ensure accuracy. So whenever we have incident, we should take an immediate action and document it. Make sure you take written statements from each individuals who involved in incident, in case they change their statement later. A leader should avoid just take verbal statement. So the advantages is allows the reporter to document incidents in their own terms and how to understand it. The disadvantages is it gives room for human error. So because the reporter may put his or her opinion or may see it differently. And the second evaluation of solution, victims or witnesses should speak up to authority. It helps prevent future occurrence of discrimination. It exposes victims or especially witnesses to be attacked by loyalists of accused. Especially, they should take incident to the authority as soon as possible. So the third one is establish an open dialogue policy with school leadership. So by establishing an open dialogue policy, administrators can be able to reach immediate information and handle it on time. So advantages is it helps promote good relationship between leadership and others. The disadvantages is it can lead to abuse of privilege. And the last one is organize a meeting in a warm atmosphere between complainant and respondent. So both advantages is both parties can understand each other's real intentions and intimacy. They can notice misunderstandings and have a chance to make empathy. So the disadvantages is if meeting cannot be led properly, the case can go worse. I think this is the situation that everyone must avoid. Thank you, and can you go to next slide, please?
I'm going to talk about implementation plan. Train staff about multiculturalism and diversity beginning and middle of the school year is an important one because if teachers know how to deal with this kind of cases, it could help everyone not getting in trouble. So effective staff training is a key in ensuring that all staff are fully aware of Discrimination Act. Another one can be create two-way communication plan. Because in this case, the problem happened, and administration team, they decided on their own without listening to the teacher. So if the administration team could have build a positive, reschedule a positive meeting with two people, like with the parent and with the teacher, I think it will be more, they can solve this problem right away. But it didn't happen. Another one is make a special effort to use language that is unbiased. So I think it's possible with the training, as I said at the first one.
so teachers could know what to say and what not to say. Another one is keep parents informed in a timely manner. I think this is also very important. In educational situations, dealing with difficult parents is part of the job. Sometimes teachers will work with parents who may come across as problematic because of their attitude or personality. Problematic parents are most likely problematic people in other areas of their lives out of school. In that case, that student parent, she's a single mom and she's already dealing with a lot of problems. So whenever her son told her this situation, she called this is discrimination right away. So they often expect patience and understanding from others, such as teachers, but they will not be reciprocated. So that's what keep parents informed in a timely manner. That's why it's very important if teacher or the administration team, if they could inform the parents right away, I think there will not be misunderstanding. Reviewing behavior and discipline policies regularly help teachers to be aware of any problem that can happen. It's the last one. I think having a positive environment between teacher and the parent, they can avoid from this problem. But there is a misunderstanding and miscommunication going on, and the issue got bigger and bigger.
Hope these implementation plan, and also we're confident the implementation plan can address and solve the problems identified earlier of the presentation. That's the end of the presentation of the group study.